Hi. So today we're going to talk about conflict, and we're going to talk about how to get what you want out of the conflict so that you can move forward in your life. Does that sound good? Have you run into issues in your life? I'm going to take my glasses off. Where you feel like, if things changed, things would be so much better for me. Maybe you're getting misgendered. Maybe you're getting treated in the way that you don't really want to be treated, but you haven't exactly spoken about it with someone else who may be causing the issue or may be related to or a part of the issue. I had an experience today that I want to talk about, share that story, and then pull out some of the learnings that I've had in this experience because it's really powerful stuff. And the root of it that we're going to dive into in a second here is all about alchemy and how we leverage alchemy to change ourselves and the situation that we're in. Alchemy, I don't know if you've heard of this or you know about this, but alchemy is the concept of materials changing shape or changing form based on the inputs and energy that you put into it. And social alchemy, or this alchemy that you have in the rest of the world and how you interact with it, is a part of this experience. Like when you vibe with someone and you just click, that's some kind of compatibility and alchemy right there. Sometimes you have situations that are actually not very good for you, and how you interact with that is sort of like your personality, your experience, your positioning, and all of this kind of combines into like a math equation of parts and pieces and chemicals and processes. So I want to talk about this meta topic of how you can alchemize your situations and create powerful change very quickly. Does that sound like something that you might benefit from? If you'd like to dive into that some more, that's what we're diving into. Oh, please like and subscribe if you're new to this channel, by the way. So, today I woke up, I went to the sink, and I tried to brush my teeth, but as I'm brushing my teeth, the sink is getting clogged, and it's been clogged for the past 2 weeks. And I'm looking at this thinking, I could really solve this. I could go out and buy some of the stuff that I need to unclog this, but technically this is not my issue. This is an issue that someone else has to fix. And so I feel kind of annoyed that I'm in a situation where I have to fix this, but it's not my accountability, and I actually don't fully benefit from this. I don't own this place. So if I pay someone to go unclog that, that's the benefit of the landlord kind of a situation. So I just kind of had this recalibration with my friend who owns this farm that I live on, and had to talk to him about this. I said pretty much something along the lines of, I'm really pissed off right now because I'm starting to see everything from this perspective of, you are the landlord, I'm the tenant, and you should be taking care of this. What the fuck? And it's not really that relationship because we also have businesses that we work on together. But if I'm using the land that you bought and you need a kickback to feel good about that, I'll kick you back a few $100. It's not like this is expensive to live out here in the middle of Washington in the forest. But I had this story that started generating, and it started to create this really strong momentum in how I was starting to shift in how I saw this person. It was starting to upset me because I was starting to position myself in a story of sadness, of anger, and being exploited. And so I had to kind of air out this situation fairly quickly before it started to fester and create a more dangerous interpersonal situation with my friend where, when you can get to a point where things can boil up and boil out, those lead to destructive parts in your relationship. Have you had experiences like that where you've blown up on a friend and that can potentially end your relationship or severely hamper it, right? So I brought this up, we had a conversation, and in this conversation, I went through all the details of all these little parts and then tied it together with this story that had just given birth and really upset me. This is is this relationship like this kind of a thing? And he said, you're not wrong about all of the parts, but what about all these other parts, and how does this all fit together in the story that we work on and all of the other things that we do? And when he brought this to the table, I realized, you know what, you're right. How all of these parts come together when you take in the larger picture and not just the micro, it really isn't like this. And so that upsetness that led me to, hey, I'm really pissed off. We need to talk about this. Talking about it, letting the emotions come through, and then recalibrating and healing from that has realigned us and reinvigorated our working relationship, how we're going to work, and what we're going to move forward on in a way where there's more clarity. And I'm getting exactly what I want. I'm going to get my tiny home on in the forest. I'm going to be able to really get that ball rolling and get all of the other things that I want to happen much sooner, because I'm tired of waiting, is essentially the point. So that was alchemy, because there was all of this energy that had suddenly boiled up inside me and needed to be expressed. And it was expressed in a way that was constructive and trying to approach a way of making a better solution to my issue, which is pressing. So when you're thinking about your own experience and the things that you don't like, where are you allowing things to slide that could end up sabotaging this situation that you're in, because it's going to fester and grow into something much bigger and much worse than what it actually is? And this is the point that I'm trying to call attention to you for, is to think about how you can talk about these situations, and if you have a strong emotion, to also talk with that strong emotion. He said, I don't care if it's anger, I don't care if it's sadness, or you're crying, or however you want to present this, present it, because it's good. It helps us change the situation. And that's what I want to talk to you here about, underline, is it actually doesn't matter how you come at the situation. I've come at things from an anger perspective, from a sadness perspective, just trying to keep things nonviolent and non-blamey. You don't want to play the blame game, but just stepping out there and being like, I feel fucking frustrated about this shit and this shit and this shit. Like, is this what I'm seeing? Tell me that I'm wrong, is what I said. Please tell me that I'm wrong, because this is the story that's starting to generate in my head and it's not making me happy. And when you put it like that, or you frame something like that, you give space for the other person to fill in the blanks, and then you can recalibrate. And this is nonviolent communication. If it comes with a lot of energy, such as anger, sadness, tears, what have you, that creates in your relationship. I mean, what do you think that's going to create in your relationship? How do you think someone's going to react when they see someone really cares and has this strong emotional response to something? Do you think they're going to pay a little bit more attention? This is how you create impact and change in the people that you work with, because they see how much something means to you, and then it connects in a deeper way. You think of all the nightmares, you think of how we're programmed and how we remember things. Those loaded emotional experiences, we register on a much deeper level. And so that's what I want you to think about. You can leverage this more loud, emotional experience in a way that creates more attention, not for drama purposes, but for showing someone this is how much it matters. I'm not trying to blame you for this, but I am trying to get my part of the story across, and I want to check this story with you so we can find a resolution. Gee, why are you not calling me by my name, you might say. I really would appreciate if you did, because it means a lot to me. Tears, 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 or anger. They can see that, they can feel that, and suddenly that's going to help create a click. It's not going to be an easy conversation. There will be times where you're going to have to really talk and communicate and really get things across. But as long as you stay out of the blame game, it's really going to change the dynamic of how you communicate around this conflict. So, when you have these kinds of situations, what do you want to do? How do you want to approach this? What kind of tools and techniques do you use? The ones that I'm speaking about today, just to summarize, are thinking about things from an alchemical perspective, thinking about how you can approach the situation and allow the leverage of emotions and feelings to come out in a non-violent, non-accusatory, non-blame gamey way that can help you move things forward in your life. So, with that, I'd love your support if you'd like to support me on Patreon, and you can join my Discord community down below. Thank you, and I'll see you in another episode soon. Bye.